The controversial report published this week that's been debated here on LBC all week and elsewhere as well. And I've just given you my take. Hassan is waiting from Slough. Welcome back, Hassan. Tell us what you think.
Hi, assalamu alaikum. I have been very disheartened with the level of divisiveness of this debate, and it should be a debate, as you said. I'd like to make 4 points, if I may. The first one is, I would summarise the report into one word, and that's empowerment. Okay, so whilst there is recognition that racism still exists, there has to be some recognition that BAME communities have actually succeeded over the last 50 years. The second point is that the politics should be taken out of this debate, regardless of what political affiliation we have. We're all allies against racism, and I did listen to the critics thoroughly, especially Dr. Halima Begum of the Runnymede Trust, and she held a panel discussion a couple of days ago with Simon Woolley, Michael Hampton and Patrick Vernon. And the things that they came out with was very, very disturbing. When one of them said that we should burn the report, or there was nothing positive, or there was hidden eugenics.
That's a bit harsh, right? Burn the report. That's a bit harsh.
Burn the report, and also
I don't want to burn
eugenics.
books I disagree with. That's a bit harsh.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, Halima Begum, she said she wished that the report mentioned COVID and BAME. Well, it did on page 220. Her call to action right at the end of the meeting was, let's mobilise against the report or against the government. Let's find allies. Well, all of us are allies. The allies are there. We just need a cross-fertilisation of ideas in a civil manner. Now, I've tried to reach out to Halima Begum, being a fellow Bangladeshi Muslim. We need more...
she's of Bangladeshi origin, isn't she?
She is, from Sewell originally.
Did you know that Pakistanis were more disadvantaged in this country currently than Bangladeshi communities?
No, I didn't know until this report came out.
Oh, really?
Know that.
I knew that for a while. And I think, again, if you look at the demographic migration patterns, a lot of the Bangladeshi intellectuals came to this country.
Yes.
Sylhetis. Is she from Sylhet, by the way?
She is.
Yeah, originally. So that's an interesting thing, because Sylhet has, you know better than me, Hassan, but Sylhet has an intellectual culture around it, which is different to, say, the peasants that came from Mirpur or even generally the Punjab. Punjab migration, a lot of it was business-oriented, whereas Mirpur, a lot of it was to work in the factories up north. And that can explain some of the dynamics there.
Yeah, absolutely. And although I'm not originally I'm not from Sylhet, I still consider, they're my brothers and sisters from Bangladesh. And the fact that we've succeeded the last 30 years is a cause for celebration. The third point is regarding Tony Sewell, the lead author. When he's been described as a bounty bar for hire, or these BAME authors are servants of the white master, that is not microaggression, that is macroaggression, that is racism, that is despicable. The critics are assuming that influence is one way. It's the white man, Boris Johnson, dictating to these BAME authors. They cannot entertain the possibility, influence could be the other way, that BAME people could influence the white man. Why can't they think that? Because of white superiority. They think white man Boris is at a superior level. He isn't. My final point is my advice to the BAME youth, including girls. In the early 90s when I was at university, I think it must have been an Islamic Society or a Bangladesh Society meeting, there was a Bangladeshi girl who wanted to get into law, and she'd sought advice from a Bangladeshi lawyer, an established lawyer. And he spelt it out. He said, you're not going to succeed because you're a girl, and also you're from an ethnic minority, and understandably she was distraught. I learned later, a couple of years down the line, that she went to Harvard University. So my heartfelt advice to the youth, BAME youth today, is there may be glass ceilings, but today you have the power, the tools, and the capability to break through those glass ceilings. Do not let anyone else dictate to you otherwise.
Yeah, well, good advice there, Hassan. And sorry, I think I was mixing Dhaka up with Sylhet. Is it Dhaka that has the tradition of intellectual migration?
I don't know, actually. I'm from Dhaka, but I don't know.
I think it's Dhaka, but there's a difference. I mean, there's a strong intellectualism, especially leftist intellectualism, that came from Bangladesh that moved to this country, very different to the Mirpuri migration patterns. And a lot of these intra-community dynamics aren't understood and are often glossed over using the phrase BAME. And that's why I think one element of the report that even its critics agree with it on is the phrase BAME doesn't really cater to those internal community distinctions. Hassan, thank you for calling. A pleasure to speak to you. Let's go to